The Ghana High Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information Ghana, hosted a well-attended Diaspora Town Hall meeting in Wood Green, London. The event, which was themed 2 years of good governance, change is happening, was the first of its kind to have been organized outside Ghana by the Information Ministry. The aim of the town hall meeting was to update Ghanaians in the diaspora on the performance of the government under His Excellency Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It also provided the Ghanaian diaspora an opportunity to ask questions on matters concerning them. The meeting was attended by a high-powered delegation from Ghana, led by the majority leader in the Ghanaian Parliament and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Osei Kyei Mensah-Bonsu. Other members of the delegation were the Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Deputy Minister for Information Pius Enam Hadzide, and Deputy Minister of Justice Mr. Godfred Yeboah Dame. Also in attendance were representatives from the National Food Buffer Stock Company, Ghana Revenue Authority, and the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority. Additionally, the High Commissioner Papa Owusu-Ankomah and his sectional heads from the Ghana High Commission were also in attendance. The MC for the event, Linda Wayo, kick-started the meeting by inviting Reverend John Danso, a committee member of the Ghana Christian Council UK and Ireland, to say the opening prayer, after which the Ghana High Commissioner to the UK, His Excellency Papa Owusu-Ankomah, welcomed all to the event.
I wish to express my gratitude to the government of Ghana and the Ministry of Information for selecting the United Kingdom as the first country to host this all-important event. And it is a testament to government's recognition of the role Ghanaians in the United Kingdom continue to play in advancing the development of our country. The officials are here for you. Ask all the questions you would wish to ask, and be assured at the end of the day that it will not be mere talk. It will be backed by action. Just as I promised you 3 weeks ago that government was going to review port charges. I meant it because I had been assured that something good will be happening in that regard. Thank you very much. You're all welcome.
I am very pleased and happy to be part of this very important town hall meeting to share with you the progress report and the state of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, the only agency in Ghana in charge of food security, which is very important to every nation.
After the High Commissioner's speech were presentations from some government agencies. First was the Chief Executive Officer of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, Hanan Abdul Wahab, who admonished Ghanaians living abroad to make investment in the agri sector in Ghana their topmost priority. According to Mr. Hanan, the NPP government's flagship program Planting for Food and Jobs present enormous lucrative business opportunities capable of delivering value for investors and shared prosperity for Ghanaians.
With the Buffer Stock Company, we are calling on you to come and invest so much in the marketing so that we can give you licenses to purchase greens from farmers all over the country and store in our various warehouses.
Next to speak was Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Minister for Information, who spoke about the purpose for the town hall meeting.
Ghana is one of the countries, as I'm sure you're aware, that practices a democracy. And the essence of a democracy is not that we vote, go home and observe and come back and vote in 4 years. The essence of a democracy is that people have an opportunity to engage. The government that works on behalf and in the name of the people have an opportunity to engage with the people on a regular basis, to update you on what is being done in your name and on your behalf, to get feedback from you as well. President Akufo-Addo, at the start of his exercise, started with what he called a listening tour, to travel across the country and other parts of the world, to listen to ideas with which he formed what we call a manifesto, ran for an election, got the mandate, and is running today. And we cannot wait 4 years down the line to tell you what we have done. And that is why one of the things that the Ministry of Information does is to create various platforms that allows us to update you on what we are doing as a government or as an administration, to take feedback from you, to take queries from you. And already you've seen the success of some of these town hall meetings when it comes to passports and a few other issues.
This is the first town hall meeting outside Ghana, and I'm sure the United Kingdom, and indeed London, is happy to be accorded a place of pace-setters in this regard.
Honorable Osei Kyei Mensah-Bonsu, Majority Leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, delivered a keynote address for the event. In his speech, he elaborated on the government's agenda for opening up the country to ensure equitable development. The Majority Leader also touched on the following.
I'm informed that the Ministry of Information, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, and a few departments and agencies, have been holding town hall meetings since 2017. In 2019, the strategy has been upscaled. The ministry will use the power of electronic media, live broadcast show, Facebook Live, Twitter, WhatsApp application to project and broadcast the town hall meetings far and wide. In this regard, the Ministry of Information will organize 21 town hall meetings locally and 3 in the diaspora. The first in the diaspora is what we are privileged to be participating in here at the 9th High Road, Wood Green, London, United Kingdom. In this regard, additional regions have been created, and as well, 3 development authorities have been established. The new regions, as you might be aware, and their capital towns include the following: Oti region, the capital of which is Dambai; Western North, the capital of which is Sechirioso; Northeast, Nalerigu; Ahafo region, Goso; Savannah, Damongo; and Bono East, Techiman. In view of this, the government has realigned the national budget to ensure that every constituency gets the CD equivalent of $1 million a year for priority projects. It is of importance to note that the newly created regions will present an opportunity for us to avoid the long-standing mistakes of urban planning that have made some towns and cities in the country very unattractive. As you may be aware, Government of Ghana has promised to devolve greater power to the Ghanaian people by assembling a multidisciplinary panel of experts to plan costs, schedule, and help implement a roadmap for the election of metropolitan, municipal, district chief executives. Assessing the state of the Ghanaian economy, we are elated to say that the program with the IMF has come to an end, and with continuing discipline, the deal has been signed off only last Tuesday, the 2nd of April 2019. Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that interest rates are declining, and so is the Bank of Ghana monetary policy rate. Our trade balance account, for the first time in more than a decade, recorded a surplus in 2017 and is expected to remain in surplus in 2019. Consumer and business interests are soaring to signify growing confidence in the economy. The principal vehicle to ensuring the blessings of liberty, equality, opportunity, and prosperity for ourselves and future generations is education. And that is why President Akufo-Addo is keen on inclusiveness in education to all citizens. The government's flagship education policy, Free Senior High School, seeks to ensure that every Ghanaian attains quality education and lifelong learning opportunities. In this regard, the President stated in his State of the Nation's address that legislation will be passed very soon to redefine basic education to include senior high school. Pursuant to strengthening Ghana's health delivery systems, the government has thought it right to provide ambulances as one of the means to good health delivery systems. 275 ambulances are expected to arrive in June this year. Every constituency will receive an ambulance to make treatment of emergency cases much more effective. Again, government has granted financial clearance for the recruitment of 11,118 health personnel to increase existing clinical staff. The housing challenges facing the nation is no secret to those of you who travel to Ghana at regular intervals. The problem is especially in the urban areas, largely due to the incessant increasing population of Ghana and rural-urban population drift. This is an enduring problem that gets worse with each passing day. It is time to address this problem and find a resolution. The government has therefore started with the completion of the many abandoned projects dotted around the country.
Next to speak from the government agencies was Mrs. Esther J.B. Donko, General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs, Ghana Port and Harbour Authority. Speaking at the event, she revealed that the integration of GPHA's IT system with GCNet, information from shipping lines, manifest and GPHA's billing system have all been made electronic. She said GPHA is putting in place a system to allow importers to access information and the amount of handling charges to be paid to create a transparent system for importers and the trading public. Ms. J.B. Donko added that the occasion that characterizes paper process is when there are challenges receiving payment information from the banks while payment has been made by customers.
Let me mention that the government of the day has shown a lot of interest in the ports. And I'm sure because the government knows that it's a critical factor in the development of the economy. The port handles about 90% of trade that is coming into our nation. So of course, if you want to develop, then it is just adequate that you pay attention to the port.
Now, if we talk about jobs, it's not only the one who is who has a business. We are also talking about the fact that you have to employ people. And as soon as you employ people and you are into business, then taxation comes in. So my topic is how we can comply with the tax laws so that we do not fall foul of Ghana Revenue Authority.
Next were two representatives from the Revenue Authority, Mrs. Iris Bochi, Assistant Commissioner, and Mr. Lemi Kwewu, Senior Revenue Officer. In her presentation, Mrs. Iris Bochi said the taxpayer can visit the office of the GRA at any time and is promoting a voluntary compliance program which enables taxpayers to easily pay their taxes at their convenience. Taxpayers are also able to check on their clearance issue.
As much as we want to create wealth, we need to be very aware of the taxes. We need to be aware of our responsibilities. And when that happens, we'll be able to create wealth, and then we will not spend unnecessary or money painfully on penalties and interest.
Mr. Lemi Kwewu in his presentation spoke on custom regimes, duty rates applicable, and critical issues of vehicle importations and the duties involved.
So now, importation of vehicles, that's the most thorny issue, but it's been solved. The President says, discount all these values by 30%. So if previously it was nil, we are going to depreciate it by 30%. When you come to 15%, we are going to depreciate it by 40%. When it comes to 30%, we are going to depreciate it by 60%. And for more than 5 years, we are going to depreciate it by 80%. So we are about halving the cost of clearance of vehicles. That's the good news.
After the presentations, a question and answer session was moderated by the Deputy Minister for Information, Mr. Pius Enam Hadzide.
Over the past 5 years or so, Ghana has seen increase of only 4% in the port activities and about 300% in Togo's activities. My question is, what was Togo doing right that Ghana wasn't doing that caused that increase?
How is the government going to help to quote the honorable minister, God must be a Ghanaian? When are we going to benefit from the God-given endowment?
Thank you very much. I've been in this country for 35 years, and very soon I'm going to go back home. And what I was asking the ports, is it GRA, you in the orange? Yeah. If you say my goods are going to be tax-free, my fridge, freezers, my TV, my everything is going to be free. My vehicle, you said it's not going to be free. Is it not a personal effect?
So I would like to know what is being done, what is being put in place for especially the second, and we now have the third generation Ghanaians who do not feel included as a Ghanaian or even as a British.
We recognize that prosecution of crime must not be political or must not be perceived political. Now hitherto, there was clearly the solely vesting of procedural authority in the Attorney General. Now President Akufo-Addo recognized that in order to boost the prosecution of crime, especially crimes committed in the public sector and by persons who hide under the guise of political power to perpetuate corruption, can only be boosted when you set up a vehicle, and that vehicle will be independent of the Attorney General. So that is a policy, it's a major innovation, was clearly hitherto unknown in the history of the country, and that we must be commended. The Special Prosecutor's Office has been set up. Indeed, a huge budgetary allocation of about 200 million Ghana cedis was made for him. In no time, I believe that you hear from the Special Prosecutor. Apart from that, the Attorney General, also still being repository of procedural authority, is also undertaking various measures.
By law, a personal effect is anything, we are talking of household personal effects, things that have shown an appreciable use, that you are using them here. That is what we call household personal effects. Because you are moving residents, we expect you bring all those, but vehicle is not part of a household personal effect.
We've been engaging second and third generation Ghanaians. I mean, normally we deal with identifiable groups. There's a group, Mifri Ghana, for instance. We've engaged them on about 3 occasions. Just last week, I got a message that second generation Ghanaian professionals are having a conference. We're engaging them. I'm very much interested, particularly in the second and third generation. You've mentioned the West and South. Of course, I mean, we are a mission. We just can't go into a community and attempt to engage persons we consider to be Ghanaians. We work through Ghanaian organizations or institutions. But since you've offered your services, we'll get the consular officers to get in touch with you.